All right, what's up, Wolfpack? We got bicep curls. This is the first recorded exercise of the lift so far. I just finished my forearm curls, so maybe it'll pick up on camera, but my forearms are a little pumped right now. In terms of, body fatigue and body health, not really fatigued compared to yesterday. My mid traps are still a little fatigued, but like nothing to where I'm feeling them all the time. It's really if I'm like really deep into the stretch. So overall, I'm not too worried about that. The rest of my body's perfectly fine. Legs normal as per usual. And in terms of how my day's been pretty okay. Better than yesterday, not good as 2 days ago. But still in a pretty happy mood. Shit, I just dropped my water. But I've talked about this a decent amount now. These on Mondays and Wednesdays, but with like my lab, which I had today, and my business law class, I feel like I've never really been a big help until like the lab last week, and now this entire week for those two classes. I feel like I've put a lot of effort compared to how I would earlier. And these days in particular are what are making me pretty happy. Just because if one of my biggest things that I really don't like is feeling useless. And me helping in at least one way. Maybe it's not like I'm doing the entire lab, because I'm very far from doing the entire lab. But doing more than what I was doing, where I was just sitting down and watching my lab partner do the assignment. It's a great feeling. You could say, oh, maybe you should do more work, which, I'd probably agree with you. I'm still not doing like the craziest work in the world. I'm just, making sure that we're all on the same page in terms of pace and all that. So, overall in a good mood for that. Bad news for today is like the first time in like 8 years that I've actually fallen. I was for some reason the paths here are super icy. Don't really know why. I kind of know why, but like they're really icy, and they're like, it's like a really thin layer of ice to where it's like you don't really see it. It's like black ice. But on my way back from the lab, I did like a cartoon fall on the down this like slope, and luckily with my cat-like reflexes, I was able to move my body to the side, so I didn't get like super like I guess hurt. But I feel it a little bit. So like that's really the only bad thing that's happened today. That also, the shirt that I was wearing earlier today started raining like crazy, and I just got super wet. Like that's the only two bad things that happened today. And one of them's a lot more pettier than the other one. So like overall still a really positive day. Happy with how it's going. Anyways, gonna do my warm-up set of bicep curls. We got 22.5 pounds on the cable. Do however many I feel like, and then we'll go to the first failure set. Oh wait, I'm doing the reverse curl still. should be good. We'll go straight to the first failure set. We'll start off 57.5 pounds for now. In terms of news, outside of, me, don't really got any. Feel like especially recently more than ever, I feel like I've been very uninformed on the stuff going on around me. In terms of like politics, in terms of I guess politics. So not really not really great when I'm trying to give you guys like this is almost like a news, or not, I shouldn't say news. It's like I've said this a bunch of times at this point. This is more like a podcast than anything, where I'm just sitting down, or well, not sitting down, but just going around doing my workout and just giving whatever's on my mind. Back when I was doing like the home gym videos for the 3 videos, I was I was at least somewhat informed. I think a partial reason why I'm a little less informed is, well, I got 2. One, I stopped watching a lot of the informational content that I was watching prior to now. And then 2, I have a busier schedule now. Like, it's not like I'm super busy. Like I said, I'm a business major. It's not like it's the hardest thing in the world. I usually have a good amount of free time, but I would say it's both of those, because I still have a more packed schedule now than I did first semester, where I was able to kind of give my opinions more. But I really think me just stop watching the stuff where I would get this news. That's also probably the more bigger portion of why I haven't been able to give a whole lot of news recently. Actually, in terms of the lift for today, I'm going to try something a little different. I've been in the mood to hit some pull-ups recently, which, I'm going to be real, my pull-ups aren't it's not like I'm doing like 10 reps of bodyweight pull-ups. But, I'm probably going to record my pull-ups just to, have a little bit of variability in my back exercise. And, to the people who are like, oh, I thought you were going to keep the back exercises the same. Or, well, I didn't say just the back, I said all exercises, but, to the people who said, oh, I thought you were going to keep all exercises the same. No, I'll be real, it's mostly, I've been having that itch to do some pull-ups. I know it's a good enough exercise for me to, to at least get some back growth in. I'll probably only do 2 sets of it, to be honest. I don't really know how I can do a warm-up on pull-ups without going to the assisted pull-up. And I'm not really in the mood to go to the assisted pull-up for 1 set, then go to the regular pull-up for the rest. Not going to do that. So I'll just do two straight sets to failure. Probably it'll be the next recorded lift after this. Just because, I'm just in that mood. You can say what you want. At the end of the day, I'm the one making these videos. I'm putting my life at risk for this content. I could have slipped on the way to the gym here, because whoever plows, or I shouldn't say plow, because it's like a really, really thin layer, but like whoever keeps the walkways non-icy hasn't really done their job. Which I'm not going to hate on it too much. It's late at night. it's not like, you know, it's not like it's peak hours where all people on campus are going to their classes. It's like select few going to night classes because they like night classes, or they just messed up their schedule to where they have a night class. You know, actually, one thing I could talk about, and having this a lot on my mind recently, but I feel like I'm someone who gives a lot of advice out, but then never really takes the advice I give out. So like I've talked about getting out of, you should really get out of your comfort zone. And, you know, as someone who's, you know, who's given out saying, oh, you should do this if you want to have a, you know, a little better life, be less depressed about your life, I guess. Should do that. But no, I don't really follow that. And, you know, I feel like because I don't take the advice that I've been giving out, I'm almost having like the mindset of, oh, maybe I shouldn't really be saying this. You know, I know it's a good thing because I've heard this millions of times, and in concept, like if you really think about, you know, just, you know, getting out of your comfort zone, like, in concept, it's a really great thing. But I don't have any like personal experience to back it up, and because of that, I feel like I can't really give like a full opinion on that, if that makes sense. So recently I feel like I've been needing to take my advice a little. And, you know, I would say you should probably too. Oh, is it 10 already? Shit. I've been wasting my time. Okay, I might need to rush the workout here. Yeah, I feel like overall goal, I low-key forgot what I was about to say, but overall idea of what I'm talking about is that I feel like because I don't take the advice that I am giving out, like there's certain parts where I actually am doing what I tell you guys you should do, like me saying that you should be egotistical about your achievements, but also be aware. That's something I follow very, very closely, especially around my friends. I'm bragging a lot. You know, maybe I seem like a dick, and maybe like they're not liking it. They haven't said anything about it to make it seem like they're angry about it. But that's besides the point. You know, like me following that more egotistical approach, and, you know, kind of loving myself, I guess. That's something I follow pretty closely. But like with the example I've given where I say you should get out of your comfort zone, I'm not really the person who goes out of their comfort zone a whole lot, which I bet you I should. You know, not saying oh no, this is an awful idea, I don't even know why I gave it out in the first place. You know, like I said, as I started this, you know, in concept, if you think about it, it really is a good thing if you follow it, because you'll eventually get new experiences that you probably wouldn't have had if you stayed in your comfort zone. But then again, I'm not really being proactive in doing this, so, you know, I can't give my full advice. If you guys think differently, think otherwise, let me know. Not really, like, it's not like I feel like it's kind of like a sense of imposter syndrome. Like, I've heard imposter syndrome, you kind of, like, actually don't quote me on this. This is my knowledge of what people deal with who have imposter syndrome. I could be completely wrong. But, I was watching the Luki MC, you know, the niche fitness influencer that he is, and he was talking about his experiences where he has times where he thinks he's not like credible to be making the content that he makes for whatever reason. I'm going to be honest, I kind of forgot the reason. And, you know, I would say I'm going through something similar, but not like one-to-one. Because like, I really don't think I'm going through like, I'm pretty sure he labeled that as like imposter syndrome in his video. But I wouldn't say I'm going through that. You know, I'm just saying, you know, maybe I'm not the right person to give out the advice because I don't take the advice. You know, I have a reason behind it. For him, I don't think there was a reason that was outside of his, or like an actual like good reason. Like, I feel like I'm not really giving the greatest example here or the greatest explanation. But, you know, if you watch that video, you'll understand what I'm trying to talk about. And then hopefully you'll get a better understanding of what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I'm going to get this first failure set going so I can, you know, get this. Honestly, I might just do one big recording because I'm right next to the pull-up bar. So yeah, I'm going to honestly rip these out quick so I could save some time and then go from there. Anyways, 57.5 pounds on the cable. Going to failure. If we get more than 10, we'll go up and weight. If not, we're sticking with this and we'll see what happens. All right. Oh my God. I think that's the hardest I've pushed my biceps. Wow. All right. I low-key lost count after 4, but I'm like almost 100% sure I did more than 10 there. So I'm gonna go up and weight. Go to 67.5 pounds. Man. I'm not the biggest fan of grunting while I'm at the gym. You know, I'm someone who usually is a bit more reserved in places, and I feel like, you know, you could say this is me going out of my comfort zone in a way. You know, being optimal in my grunts. They're not really grunts either. It's more like moaning, which, you know, maybe I'm not optimal then. But yeah, I feel like I use my back a little too much in there. Like especially in those last couple of reps, I feel like I was kind of pulling one of these, you know, putting my chest out, stomach close as hell to the bar. So, you know, maybe I was ego lifting there. But, you know, I did go to failure. So maybe it's worth it. Maybe, you know, when you're science-based lifting, you know, maybe those ego lifting cheat reps that, you know, science-based lifters would probably like hate on you for, you know, maybe they're optimal near the end of the workout. Maybe, you know, it's better. But then again, I've also heard a lot of people say, oh, you should keep a 1 RIR, you know, for every set. Which, you know, that's probably like an argument against the ego lifting that I probably did there. You know, that's up to you guys. I would probably call it ego lifting. But yeah. You know, in terms of my overall experience with me going to failure, we're a little bit over the halfway mark at this point. First thing I realize is I'm low-key being a bitch about almost all the exercises I've been doing here for the past, for the first semester I've been here. And really even the first year I started, or, you know, last year, with me being a little bit more consistent in the gym than my actual first year. First year, second year, this is currently my third year now. So yeah, second year, I was more consistent than my first year, but I still don't think I was pushing myself, you know, to true failure. Like, every once in a while, you know, I would actually fail. It's not like I wasn't failing. Like, I remember I spent like 4 months, not 4 months, that's a little bit of a crazy amount of time, probably like a month and a half, where I couldn't hit 135, and now I'm repping it out for like 10. So, you know, I've seen more than enough progress, but I feel like right now especially, I've noticed more progress than ever before. Maybe because, you know, my mindset is very much different compared to the first 2 years, where now I'm making sure I'm getting all reps out of me, you know, before, because like I said with my previous plan, I'd really stick in these rep ranges, and I wouldn't intentionally go over. Every once in a while, maybe I would do like 17 instead of my average like 12. But like, if I'm really like trying to stay consistent with the reps and consistent with that rep range, I really wasn't going too far, and I feel like I was kind of limiting the progressive overload that you need to grow. Like, not saying I wasn't growing, because like obviously it did work in some sense, as now I'm doing my 1 rep max on bench is 205. Obviously my deadlift increased like crazy. You guys actually, if you watched the video where me and Brody went for a deadlift PR, like that, my deadlift PR before that was 225. You know, with no real experience of deadlifting. I'm not someone who deadlifts a bunch, but yeah, like, let me just make sure I'm okay. Maybe I should get this moving. I'm gonna try and make this kind of quick, and then finish this up, so I can at least, you know, go on to the other exercises. But yeah, you know, my fuck, I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, I have visible progress to show that I've still made growth, even though I think I have been limiting myself to like my true potential. And I would say, in a sense, me getting injured like first week in the gym, where I hurt my lower back really badly, or well, shouldn't say hurt. I you know, like I couldn't bend over without some like sharp pain in my lower back after like my first week, because I was just like, if me considering these bicep curls, ego lifting, like me on that back row was rough. which now I can do the weight I injured my back on for reps. So, I've still grown there. But like, I feel like if that never happened, I probably would have been a bit more, it would have been a bit easier for me to progressively overload. Anyways, I'm talking a lot now. So I'm gonna get this this last set done. And honestly, I'm just gonna move the camera right over to this pull-up bar. It's gonna be one big clip for me to throw in, because I still really don't edit my videos. Every once in a while I'll throw some text in, and that's about it. All right, let me shut the fuck up. We got 67.5 pounds on the cable. If we do 10 or more, we'll go up in weight. Next time I record this, which could be tomorrow, it'll probably happen one more time this week. And then we'll go from there. All right. Man. Okay. Now you guys are about to see the craziest transition of all time. Boom. I'm gonna stuff. Was that nasty or what? Did you guys, even notice a thing really? Maybe it was such a smooth transition. You guys might not notice it. I'm gonna actually move the camera slightly up. You guys get more. Okay, maybe not that up. Okay. Man. Hold on, let's see if I can do it on here. Nope. You guys are seeing that. Okay. All right, we're keeping it like this, I guess. All right, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of rest before I go straight into pull-ups. Like I said, I am only gonna do 2 sets of this, just because I don't really know how to warm up without taking the assisted pull-up and then coming back here. Just not in the mood to do that. Maybe I should flip this around, because like there's a bar back here that I could probably trip on. But I'm also not trying to record the other people, because gym policy, I have to ask for their consent. And I'm low-key not trying to do that right now. Trying to get this done and over with. Hopefully I can record a 3rd exercise. I might have to cut this day early, which not too big of a fan of. But, worst comes to worst, I'll do some dorm lifts, where I just do probably like some push-ups. All right. Straight into the first rep. All right. Okay. Like I said, pull-ups are not my best exercise in terms of reps. I couldn't even do four of my body weight there. Maybe I just didn't give myself enough rest time. But yeah, pull-ups are really, really not my strong suit. Only recently I've actually been able to do pull-ups. So I feel like, I'm still really happy with the progress I've had with pull-ups. Just like I said, couldn't do a pull-up until a year ago. But, definitely could be a lot better. I could at least do 10 reps of, my regular, or my body weight. But overall, you know, I'm more happy that I can do at least one of my body weight than none at all. So, you know, you got to think in the positive sense like that. Which, going back to the point where I said I don't take that advice, that's one piece I definitely do take. You know, you always should be positive in your mind. You know, look in between things. Like, here, I'll give a quick example. Me falling down on the way back here, you know, after my lab. You know, I could look at that as a negative experience, but, you know, if I didn't fall down there, I probably wouldn't have been as, you know, careful with walking the rest of the way, you know, compared to if I never did fall, where I probably would have been a little bit more like, you guys can't really see can't get a good camera angle on me. Here, I'll get real up close. You guys get like a really weird angle. But yeah, I'll do like one of these. Another thing, you know, let me think of something else negative. Oh, something else negative. T-shirt that I was wearing earlier today. You know, probably one of my favorite t-shirts I have. Got completely drenched in the rain, where I had to take it off. You know, if it didn't get drenched, I probably wouldn't have considered how my upper body smells. You know, compared to if it was completely dry. You know, I'm pretty sure I put on like another stick of deodorant or another swipe because I was low key smelling like buns, which right now I do. I smell pretty bad, but you know, it's okay. You know, I'm at the end of my day anyways. I'm gonna go home, edit this video, go straight to bed once I'm done. Or well, I shouldn't say edit, compile the clips. Which, you know, eventually at some point, hopefully, I'll get like an editor that can, you know, edit the video. You know, hopefully at some point I have the monetary gain through some source where I can cover a you know, paying an editor however much. I'm low-key not going to use wrist straps for this. I feel like I wasted a lot of my energy just trying to tie wrist straps on this. So, but yeah, I feel like, you know, or well, I shouldn't say I feel like, once I have a consistent source of income, whether it is here or, you know, I have to get a job, you know, if, you know, one or the other happens and I have a consistent amount of income to where I could still do this and have enough to do the things I like to do, and then like a surplus that I could either invest, you know, a part of that investing will go into this channel where I get an editor. Or if someone wants to edit for free for me, hit me up. You know, business email is in my YouTube bio. So if you really want to help me out and you are willing to do it for free, let me know. You know, also if there's any brands that want to sponsor a niche YouTuber like me, you know, also hit me up, business email. Anyways, I'm gonna get this last set done and over with, and then I'll try and record one more. Honestly, I might go instantly to the last recorded. I still got to do my legs. What time is it right now? Oh, yes. I got 30 minutes to finish the rest of my workout here, and I'm not even halfway done. All right, let's get this done and over with, and then I'll see you guys for the last exercise. All right. Oh, and that was a bad jump. Hold on. No. Okay. That's the end of this. I'll turn back on the camera when I got another exercise ready, and I'll see you guys then. All right. I'm gonna be honest. I literally just finished the pull-ups, and I'm already last recorded exercise. But yeah, pec deck you know, I still really do need to hit my legs. So probably hit that after this. But this is gonna be the last recorded set of the day. We got 100 on the machine. Just gonna do my warm-up set, get it done and over with, so I'm not wasting too much time. All right. Ooh, okay. Not bad for a warm-up set. We'll go straight to 160 and we'll start it off there. You know, this is gonna be a late upload for me. You know, like I said, barely even halfway done with the workout at this point. What else do I got? I got both my legs, both leg exercises, bicep, tricep, forearm. Okay, I actually only have 5 left. Out of, what? Let me think here. So tricep, back, chest, forearm. So, oh wait, what? So yeah, I'm a little over half. I've done 7 out of the 12 exercises. Which that reminds me, if you guys have other ideas for things I should try, you know, obviously they need to be available to me. Like, you know, me doing like viral workouts for 30 days or something like that. Like where I'm just fucking doing my forearms and rice. No, not the most accessible to me right now. Kind of broke. But like something where it's like more like this, where I'm like, you know, maybe I do a higher volume, you know, program, or a super low volume program where, you know, I pull like a Mike Metzer, do 1 set exercises, and only go 3 days a week. You know, if you guys want to see something more like that, let me know. But, you know, once I get to the end of this, I'll probably start thinking of some ideas of what I could do differently. Or maybe I'll just do some regular videos, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna get this first warm-up set, or not first warm-up, first failure set out of the way. You know, hopefully, I can finish my workout. But we'll go from here. 160, like I said. If we get more than 10, we'll go up and weight. If not, we're sticking with this, and we'll see what happens. All right. No. Okay. Man, I feel like I felt that in my arm a lot more than anything else. Overall, you know, yeah, got one more. Yeah. Overall, I pushed that set somewhat hard. I don't think I did 10 though. So I'm gonna give it a little bit. Then we'll go from there. Let me think of some stuff to talk about in the meantime. But yeah, like I said, you know, or just before this, please let me know if you guys have any ideas. If you guys want to follow me on other platforms, there's a link tree in the description. Just, you know, look at that. You'll see all the major links. I'm low-key out of things to talk about right now. I'm gonna give it like 30 more seconds and I'm gonna go straight into the second set. Save a little bit of time here. Okay. But yeah, I'll finish this setup, record the outro, then yeah. Honestly, I'll do it right now. No. Okay. That's the end of this. Like and subscribe if you're cool. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.